Welcome, everybody. It is 6:01, and on April 24th, 2025, can I get a call to order?
Roll call.
Roll call.
Jeremy Larson,
Here.
Dave Walters.
Here.
Shannon Bowers.
Here.
Everyone is present.
Has everybody had a chance to look at the agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
Any thoughts there?
No.
This is where I move to amend the agenda.
There you go. Yes. How would you like to amend the agenda?
That's where I'm going to move to approve funding.
Nope. So it'd be, I would entertain a motion to amend the agenda, adding an update on our bylaws in between P and Q,
Appreciate you.
and moving around the action items, moving Alpine Fire to A, FBT to B, and Trout Unlimited to C.
Okay.
Now you can just say so moved.
Yes, all of that.
Can I get a second?
Second?
Okay, cool.
All in favor of amending the agenda?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Announcements. Madam Secretary,
Yes.
what is our current balance? Our outstanding balance? Our projected?
Our current balance is $385,941.93. Our outstanding that we still need to pay is $110,319.48. And our year-to-date income is $172,613.54, and that's fiscal year, so June to now,
I'm sorry.
or July 1st to now.
172, 613,
54.
54. What we didn't go over, is that 172 year-to-date, is that included in the total balance?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And then projected?
18,000 for the remaining of the year.
Yep. Thank you. Any thoughts, questions there?
No.
All right.
No.
My goal tonight is to keep it under an hour and a half. We know last one was a long meeting because we had a lot of applications and I wanted everybody to get in. Hopefully tonight we'll kind of fast track some, and starting with our action items for Alpine Fire. Can I get a motion for approval of Alpine Fire Department's application on second reading?
Motion to approve Alpine Fire Department's second reading.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
No,
No.
I'm concerned that they don't need more. Yeah, no, I don't have any questions.
Would anybody like to make a motion to amend?
And that's where I want
If you want to make a
to
motion.
approve
to-
funding now. Yeah, I want to make a motion to approve funding now.
So you want to make a motion to amend to approve funding for fiscal year 26, 27?
Yes.
25, 26, excuse me.
25, 26.
I have a
Yes.
motion to amend for approval of funding.
I have second.
Second.
Motion to amend.
Dave, are you still on the fire department?
Yes.
Why don't I have you
Recuse myself?
yourself?
Okay, I'm going to
Yep.
go ahead and recuse myself from that.
Okay. Then I'll second. Any discussion on the amended motion? Hearing none. All in favor of the amended motion, say aye.
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 Aye. You're recused.
He told me.
So I have amended motion approved. So back to the second reading. Now we're going for full funding. Can I get a motion to change second reading to funding Alpine Fire Department's application for fire blanket and radios?
Motion to,
I'm sorry, what is the amount?
I think it was 10,000.
I believe that was correct.
Motion would be to fund how much, I'm sorry?
10,000?
10,000?
So then the motion is to approve funding for Alpine Fire Department for fire blankets, radios not to exceed 10,000 and to be used in fiscal year 25, 26. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oop, nope, I'm out.
Aye. And one recuse.
One recused.
All right. Next on the list, get a motion for second reading of approval of Friends of the Bridger Teton on second reading.
Motion to amend, is that what we're doing here?
Nope, this is to get it on the table for second reading. So a motion to approve Friends of the Bridger Tetons application on second reading for Alpine ambassadors responsible on recreation.
Can I get a motion to approve second reading Alpine, for Friends of Bridger Teton? On second reading.
And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion here? I notice we have Jennifer here from FBT.
Yes,
Jennifer, can you just click the, thank you.
of course. I have been, now, this is my second meeting with you all, and I've noticed that our season starts June of this June 2025. So I am now fearing that because we're approving for 25, 26, that we won't be able to get any reimbursables for the start of the season, which is June 2nd.
When do you start seeing receipts?
We would need to purchase them June 2nd. That's when
Need to
we
be
would.
first, June 2nd.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. If I had thought about it ahead of time, I would have put that. I mean, the dates are in the grant, but then now listening through the first one and then coming to the second one, I was
Right.
like, well, I believe I'm in a complicated situation here because the supplies that would be needed, which are part of this, and then part of the days, which would be 30 days out of the ambassadors, and I can total those numbers up and get them to you. The total ask is 9,000. I would say we'd be looking, it's almost like we'd be splitting it up for the 24, 25
Right.
season, 25, 26, but I just want to bring awareness to that.
Okay. Then let's do this. For the board, we'll approve it on second reading. And we'll look at that a little closer to get to third reading. Yeah, because it would be in that,
Sorry.
that's okay.
If this, don't worry, I mean,
Well, no, this conversation came up earlier today on another project, and I'm brainstorming and hoping to have a solution after we go through second readings. But it will take till third reading to have, if that is a solution, to have that solution come to fruition.
sure, and that's May sometime?
Yeah, we'll pick that out today.
Or whenever.
It'll be probably mid-May, we'll look at our schedules.
Okay.
And, because we need to get it to council before there, and it'll be approved, not until June. That'll be the other thing is.
Like mid-June, you
'cause,
thinking?
It'll be, the council's probably either be the the final third reading for the budget. Because that's when things get approved, the final approval comes with council's third reading of their 25, 26 budget.
Yes.
Which normally is the third week in June. And I probably would guess it's still going to be the third week in June.
We come across this with Jackson Hole Travel and Tourism Board, but Scott manages that one because that's what he's always done. And so it didn't even come into my occurrence brain to bring up until after that first meeting, and I didn't want to cause complications when I wasn't here in person to speak to it. But we have the same problem because
Yeah.
they have to start June 2nd there as well, because the bears start coming out.
Right.
So they always give us like an amendment to start the funding on June 2nd, so that we can have people on the forest at the beginning of their busy season. So
Right.
it has been done before, it's just I did not have full disclosure on that when I first submitted this, and I apologize for that. I will get better. It's
No
just a-
problem. We're all learning here.
Apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So, yeah, we'll do that. We'll have, looks like Mayor would like to have some thoughts there.
I was just going to say, I think this has come up in what you're referencing is another project that we might be interested in fast tracking. And I think it would be smart for the board to consider some option that we can fast track projects. And I would think it'd be smart to fast track this in the sense that we could push that through the budget and get those funds immediately, and then almost be putting in the application for next year's funding now, so she doesn't have to go through this process every year.
Exactly.
So I don't know what that process looks like. You guys are the smart ones on that, but I think we should consider changing the bylaws so we can take cases like this and fast track them through the process.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, Mayor Green. I think it's, we get better every time we come to a board, and so we're hoping to not have to come to you every year.
Yep.
But so
And
that
as a
does,
bo- like I say, as a board, we're learning as well.
Yeah.
And so, the bylaws are a living, breathing document. We're trying to figure out the whole spiel.
it is tough when it lands like but we can plan. Like, I'm a good planner, and I can figure that out to maybe amend this so it breaks down the 24, 25, and then what 25, 26 would be with the addition of that June for next year.
Yep.
That is going to change this amount just slightly, and I hate to do it.
If you can have that for us for third reading.
Sure.
That'd be great.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, so sorry.
That's all right.
Thanks for the support from everyone, just in general, for the U.S. Forest Service. So let me just speak to that, so,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
No?
Okay, then, with that, all those in favor of approving FBT's application for second reading, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Trout Unlimited. So we have Trout Unlimited, get a motion for approval, second reading for Trout Unlimited banquet for the 25-26 season.
Motion to approve second reading for Trout Unlimited. Second reading.
Do I have a second?
Oh, second, sorry.
All right, discussion. Howdy, guys, you're gonna have to introduce me names, I know.
I'm Ron Quinn. With the board of Star Valley Trout Unlimited, been the president for 2-ish years now. And go ahead, Mike.
I'm the treasurer, Mike Schiffauer.
Yep.
Yep, right on, Mike.
You were
So-
here last, I was here.
Yep, you were here last year.
I
Yep.
remember you didn't show up this time.
So I told Ron, other Ron,
Okay.
that I wouldn't be able to make it. I was out of town, and I was bummed, because I've been,
Oh, yeah,
I've
yeah.
been waiting for you guys to post the dates.
Yeah.
In fact, I was telling Barry, I'm like, you guys haven't posted the dates. I haven't seen anything. She's like, oh, no, it's coming, it's coming. I'm like,
Yep.
all right. Unfortunately, I did. I had another engagement. I was really, really, really bummed. I told my wife, I'm like, you got to get down there, at least, put our names in for the raffle.
Oh, there.
But I've already heard great feedback.
Oh, great.
I've already
Excellent.
talked to a couple of people today that were there in attendance, and they said it was absolutely great again.
Excellent.
They're like, it just inspired me to want to wet a line, and I'm like, sweet, that's what I want to hear.
Excellent. Excellent feedback. Great.
Any updates for next year's?
I think we're probably planning on something very similar to what we did this year. We actually went with a different film company this year because we kind of hand selected based on the set list they had of films, and then we were able to add another local film at the beginning. And then so we went through a fly fishing film tour this year, and they actually had a film in their selection, which is largely why we chose it, that featured the Snake River and Jackson Hole and kind of talked about the Snake River watershed as a whole and all the projects in the works. So we went that route. We went pretty hefty on our raffle prizes this year, which I think that's probably, I'm hoping, part of the feedback. And obviously, we funded that through our chapter. And we had
That's the
some,
one person that dropped $500 on just raffles.
Nice.
there was a handful of folks that we noticed that they dropped $100 and then went and walked through the room with the raffle items and then came back like, I want another $100. I was like, perfect.
Good for you.
Yeah. And we took some feedback from last year's event, and we're kind of focused on wrapping it up at a more appropriate time for folks traveling. We also had the Cobblestone Hotel reach out to us, and they were offering a discounted rate for the event. We did our best to kind of get that out there. There was actually a couple folks at the event that I ran into that traveled from Idaho Falls.
Oh, cool.
Which was really cool. And I guess one thing that was really notable that we actually signed up, was it 40 new members for our chapter during the event? So,
We gave,
Yeah.
we gave hats, we gave away 40 hats.
yeah,
And it was a free membership the first year, so that
Yeah.
kind of worked out pretty good. Because last year, I think we signed up one person.
Yep.
So we kind of pushed that a little more this
Good.
year.
Great.
We had a different caterer this year.
I heard, yeah, I got great feedback on the catered tacos.
Mama Selly's, yeah.
Yeah,
Tacos,
yeah.
It was excellent.
Yeah, that was the other thing I had great feedback on was the tacos.
Person we used last year was the Cajun guy. He
Yep.
moved away.
Right, he went up to Big
So
Sky.
We kind of had to scrounge, we had to shop around a little bit to find somebody, but this gal was awesome.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
Yeah.
And Sarah with the town office, she was phenomenal help during the day of the event. I mean,
Oh,
she even
awesome.
stayed and helped us clean up. She was
actually-
awesome.
Yeah, she was dishing food out. and
Yeah.
stuff. And we had, I was gonna say something, but, yeah, last year, you remember, the limit on the building's 185-ish, 88?
88,
Okay,
okay.
we had about 130 this year.
Yeah.
We were kind of actually about putting the posters up a little later than normal and doing the advertising a little later. I think we actually seemed like we had a less crowd. Last year,
Yeah.
I don't know where we were at, but this year, we know we were at about 130, so.
But our revenue was similar to last year.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay,
Little less.
a little
but,
less.
yeah,
It's kind of been the theme this
Okay.
year.
Yeah,
With
for sure.
other organizations of
Okay.
seeing kind of lower attendance, but equal or about equal take,
Okay.
so.
Yeah. Well, that's what we experienced for sure.
Cool.
Would you like to speak about, us to speak about the 26 grant application? Or
Ron did last time, so.
or Tom probably?
Or Tom,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Tom did last time.
Any
If there's any changes, then no.
No, not really.
I was just more curious to get the feedback from Saturday.
Yeah, we were happy with it. Just
We
like,
got out of there last year too. I didn't get home to 12:30, and
Yeah.
I got home at 11 this year.
Nice.
the online auction ended up failing on us, so we had to do that, yeah.
Had to do it old school?
Yeah, we did it old school, and we sold all of the items they were mostly donated to us, for the silent auction, so that went pretty well as well, also. The one thing I want, while we're here, if this is an appropriate time, but to ask you about the post-event feedback checklist. Do we fill that out in just paper form that's attached to our application?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, fill out paper form, and then at our May meeting, then you'll give the debriefing.
Okay, cool. So that's where we do the final
Yep.
report. Okay.
Exactly.
Like the third reading, or is that what you're saying?
Well, it's be it the third reading, or it's actually because of the dates of your event.
Yep.
So it's usually either like October, if, say, your event was in the summertime, or time from approval to
Okay.
October, or May, if it was a winter event. So it'd be our May meeting, our next meeting, is when you give us the feedback.
Oh, perfect. And is that when this written report and with our budget and
Yep.
everything is due? Okay, perfect.
Exactly.
Awesome. Thank
Yep.
you. Okay.
Yeah. No, thanks for asking.
Yep.
Do you guys have something?
This is where I want to move to amend the agenda, or I'm actually, yes?
If you would like
I'm
to,
trying to figure this out.
if you'd like
Um,
to.
Yeah, I want to move to amend the agenda to approve funding. And how do I do that?
Just that?
Just,
I'd like to make a motion, actually.
okay, I need to make a motion to amend, or just to approve the funding, make a motion.
Make a
approve
motion to
funding?
amend to approve funding
Okay,
on second reading.
on second reading, okay.
And then if you agree with that, then you would second it. If you don't agree with that, you just keep silent.
I second that.
Okay? We have a motion for amend for approval on funding on second reading. Any discussion there?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. So now we go back to the original motion. All in favor for approval of funding on second reading, say, approving for full funding, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. There we go. So that means you're, on our end, you're set for next year.
Awesome, thank you very much.
Again, just like we told Jennifer, the final approval comes down to council at our budget meeting, third week in June.
Okay,
All
excellent.
right, but I will see you our next meeting, because that's where
Yes,
you got to do the.
in May, yep.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Excellent, thank you
Yeah,
very
thank
much.
you, guys.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right, now we'll jump back.
Back up to art, Alpine art.
Alpine Arts. Can I get a motion? Well, actually, they're not here, so I'll get you guys out of here. Let's see. Where are we at? Mountain Days. Can I get a motion for approval of Town of Alpine's application for Alpine Mountain Days on second reading?
Motion to. I'm sorry, motion to what?
Motion to approve Town of Alpine's Mountain Days on second reading.
Motion to approve Alpine Mountain Days second reading on, second,
I second.
We got a motion and a second? All right, discussion. We have a representative here about Mountain Days. And I've heard that the application's been modified a little bit to really coincide with state statute.
Yes. Andrea Burchard, Special Events Committee, Town of Alpine.
hello.
Hello.
Hello, Councilwoman Burchard.
Mountain Days, we have amended our application to fit better with state statute. We are asking for funds for labor, entertainment, bounce house rental, and advertising.
Perfect. And has the amount changed?
No, the amount is the same.
Still works the same?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Any other new information? No.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. The application, With
We'll use these funds to hire entertainment for further explanation, pay for activities, pay for staffing. This year, we will be upgrading infrastructure with our funds, which will leave us short for funds for 2026 for these items.
perfect. And that was the change, is the original application was for infrastructure, which
Isn't covered.
is not technically covered under state statute. So it was just a matter of switching it to labor,
Yeah.
advertising, marketing, and the entertainment, which easily exceeds the amount that you're asking for.
Yes, yes. And this is a big event, as we all know. Lots of people come from out of town. It's a good one.
Definitely our biggest event of the year.
Yeah.
Cool. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Any, if no questions, anything else?
I would like to make a motion to approve funding on second reading. Is that all?
But there's
I
one,
have to amend it. I have to amend the action item?
are you looking to amend the approval of Town of Alpine second reading to include full funding?
Yes.
So moved.
So moved.
And if you agree with that, you second.
Yep.
And a second.
Cool.
There we go. Discussion for full funding for Alpine Mountain Days application.
No.
Pretty straightforward. This is kind of really what the funds are. Mountain Days definitely brings the people in, it brings the people to the hotels, motels,
Brings all the dogs to the yard.
yep, all the above. Okay. All those in favor of amended motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Back to the original motion. All those in favor to fully fund Alpine, Town of Alpine's application for Mountain Days, say aye.
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 Aye. All right. Done. Next, can I get a motion
Bless you.
for approval on second reading for Town of Alpine's application for 4th of July fireworks?
Motion to approve Town of Alpine's 4th of July fireworks on second reading.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Discussion there.
There we are.
Anything, any new information from last time? Perfect. Do we have any discussion?
I do not. Other than, I'm going to make a motion to amend and approve funding on second reading for Fourth of July fireworks from the town of Alpine on the second reading.
If you agree, do I have a second?
I second that.
All right, any discussion there for full funding on second reading?
No.
No?
All right, all in favor of amended motion to fully fund Town of Alpine's Fourth of July fireworks, say aye.
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 Aye. Back to the original motion. All those in favor of funding, fully funding Town of Alpine's Fourth of July fireworks, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, there we go. Where are we at? Can I get a motion for approval on second reading, Town of Alpine's Music in the Mountains?
A motion to approve second reading for Music in the Mountains, Town of Alpine.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, discussion there. Do we have any updates?
I'm not familiar of any changes. Are you familiar with any changes? Yeah, I think it's still straightforward.
She's, she's thinking she won't even need that amount, because she was gonna get donors, but that's what she told me.
Yeah, I think we're looking to, for the max to be the $20,000, and we're going to try to supplement as much as we can with donations. And of course, we're only going to request what we have receipts for, things of that nature. So I think there's a possibility that it could go under, but it's my understanding that Shay's still working through the exact dates and bands and getting them all lined out, so.
And then, was that a 80/20 on all of it, actually? We hadn't really discussed that. Is it just a flat?
I don't recall if that one is.
Do we have a estimated project cost from them?
Right now, it's 20,000.
Yeah, but like a breakdown of what it's for and so on?
That I don't.
Because she's still lining up the bands.
Right, right.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's just not to
And
exceed
sound.
that kind of,
Yeah.
okay.
It's right here. Yeah, she's asking for 20, and she says it's gonna be 20. But she's hoping to get 5,000 to 7,500 in sponsors. So she wouldn't take the full 20, is what this is.
I don't think it's an 80/20 match, is it?
That's what we tried to do last year, but is that a firm thing that we have to do?
It's in the bylaws as a 80/20 match with the, unless the board decides otherwise.
Okay,
So it starts as 80/20 unless the board says otherwise.
okay. Yeah, she just has.
So if the application's straight, then that would be up to the board to advise on either straight
So, but
over.
basically, she's applying for 20 grand, but she's only gonna submit whatever her receipts,
Right,
not to exceed 20 grand,
not to exceed,
and then whatever she doesn't use just rolls back
right.
over. Okay.
Does that sound correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know if I have any more information. Let me know if you have any other.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do you guys have any more?
No, I think this is a really good event for the
Yeah,
town.
no, it's a solid event. What I like about it is it's just not one event, it goes all through the summer. This summer being 6 shows, correct?
That's what she's,
6 shows.
Which is not as many as last summer, right?
Right, it's
she's
2
cutting it
less.
back.
Okay.
What's that?
She was cutting back.
Yeah,
Yes.
2 less. It's on a Thursday, combining with farmer's market. It's great.
Which I
It
love
definitely
'cause that keeps
attracts.
farmers
I think it's just a
market going.
growing event too.
Yeah, growing event. It definitely attracts the looky-loos coming off. People stop in town. That's kind of what we want. I really have nothing but great things for this.
Same. I would like to make a motion to amend and approve funding on second reading for Music in the Mountains.
I have a motion to amend. Do I have a
A
second?
second?
Motion and a second. Any discussion on that?
No.
I think we've said it before. All in favor of a motion to amend Town of Alpine's Music in the Mountains for full funding, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Back to the original motion then. Motion to approve Town of Alpine for Music in the Mountains up to $20,000. Say aye.
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 Aye. Funded. Okay. And where are we at? I'm jumping all around
Yeah, 'cause I
here.
know. that's
I
why I'm
know.
Following you, where are your eyeballs?
Yep. Let's
Are
see.
you going to Winter Jubilee?
That's where I was trying to go to
It's
next.
F.
F. F, there it is. Can I get a motion for approval, Town of Alpine Winter Jubilee on second reading?
Motion to approve Winter Jubilee Town of Alpine on second reading?
In a second?
Second.
All right, discussion there. Any changes, Winter Jubilee? Great event. We talked it up last time. Fire
He was
dancers
gonna
amazing.
add fireworks to his bid. That doesn't mean we can afford fireworks.
Gotcha.
And I haven't got the bid yet.
Okay. If that comes in, we'll look at it. But, no, I mean, I think it was a great event last year. It was awesome. I'd look forward to it again this year. Any other thoughts
I do not. I would like to make a motion.
to,
Amend and approve funding on second reading for the Winter Jubilee.
Second?
we have a motion to amend to approve full funding for Winter Jubilee from Town of Alpine. Any discussion there?
No.
We said it all. All right, all those in favor of approving Town of Alpine's application for Winter Jubilee, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now back to the original motion. All those in favor of approving Alpine Winter Jubilee application on second reading for full amount of, what is the full amount?
8,000.
8,000 for
It's 10,000 and
8,000?
80/20.
80/20, so it's a 80/20, so the cost is projected to be 10,000. The Town of Alpine would, or we would meet 80% of that, so 8,000, not to exceed $8,000. Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approved. That was F, it's over here. All right. Town of Alpine, second reading, motion, can I get a motion for approval, second reading, interactive touchscreen kiosk?
Motion to approve second reading interactive touchscreens kiosk for the Town of Alpine?
Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, discussion. I've got a bit of feedback from folks, and it hasn't been positive. I was looking over the application, and the possibility to lease it for a year seemed, that was, where is that?
Sarah added more info. It's in your pile.
About leasing for just 1 year?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of a,
It's that.
You want-
It's that one.
there it is. So, lease term, so under $400. I don't know how that, to me, that sounds,
Per month?
for 60 months, monthly,
So,
yeah, so $4,800 for a year,
yeah.
under 4,800.
How much does it cost to like set it up? Is there like initial cost in that?
Dollar at least to own,
There's always a setup fee.
yeah. Mr. Mayor, do you know what a setup fee may be?
I don't recall. I'm sorry, I'm not prepared. I was informed this meeting was tonight at 6, about 10 minutes before the meeting, so I would have become more prepared.
I think it depended on how many screens you want for them to scroll on.
Gotcha.
On some of the companies, they weren't all the same, I don't know.
And it's like a button where it's like, here's the grays and here's where
So
ducks
the
are, like,
concept is basically you walk up to it and it says something, you know, welcome to the Town of Alpine, blah, 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 and there's, just like you're going to our website, you're going to select from however many, whether it's, you want a business directory, you want fishing locations, you want whatever, and then it takes you to that screen. You're right, this setup is like the kind of the major upfront cost.
Yeah.
But I thought that was covered in the lease, so I think we're gonna have to get some more information on that. We can definitely come more prepared at the third reading.
And this again was not to, like, in lieu of having somebody at the visitor center, this was in addition to?
So we have funded that position through June 30th. You guys have, in the town of Alpine,
Just June 30th.
June 30th. There's not an application in for that position going forward from the town of Alpine. So to be honest, I don't know where it stands going forward. I haven't heard feedback one way or the other, so maybe you guys have, I haven't. No one's reached out to me with positive or negative things regarding this kiosk, so hopefully it sounds like maybe the chairman has.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
It's mainly just been anywhere from why would we spend that much money on the kiosk due to our not seasonal conditions, but weather conditions.
It works outside. It's.
Yep. Oh, no, this was just the feedback.
Yep.
And the biggest thing is, the gripe is the chunk of money with the machine itself, just one machine. That's why when I saw this, I was kind of like, well, maybe we'll put it out there that there's a cheaper alternative to lease it for a year, test it out for a year, and see if people will warm up to it for a year.
But it's also, you're gonna get everybody fired up.
3 years.
I'm sorry,
I thought she said the minimum lease was 3 years.
was it 3 years?
'Cause that's what she told me. I didn't read her paper.
Because that would definitely change things.
Yeah, it's, especially if it's only $4,800 a year.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I don't see much risk in trying it. I think there is a buyback option, but, you know, we can come with those questions answered for the next reading.
You know,
Would it be a staff member from the town that would upload all the information to it?
Yeah.
so if it's 400.
Yeah, so Sarah would be in charge of working with the company to get it uploaded and everything.
One for 5
And then,
60 months. So 40,000, so if we lease it, it's $16,000 less
Right.
for the same amount of time. Am I saying that correctly?
I think the 40,000 was kind of like a guess at how much it was gonna cost
Okay.
and get it set up originally.
Because basically leasing it is just under 24,000 for the 5 years, you know, which is better than the 40,000.
So if, let's say it was, yeah, just right around 25,000. That sounds right.
Okay. Why don't we, I'll put it out there for the vote, but I'd like to see it go to third reading. And then that way we can get a little.
We'll
Now
get
then-
Sarah here for the third reading as well, and
Yeah.
we'll make sure, because she's met with the companies and
Okay.
she has all the information. And we'll make sure we get the answers for you guys. Yep.
Perfect. So with that said, all those in favor of approving Town of Alpine's application for a interactive touchscreen kiosk on second reading, say aye.
All right?
Aye. Okay, so we'll get that to third. And finally, get a motion for approval on second reading Town of Alpine's application for trail groomer.
Motion to approve second reading trail groomer for the town of Alpine.
Second, motion and second. I've got somewhat, hopefully an update on this.
Any news on that? Mr. Green?
I think the chairman has.
Yeah, no, he hasn't emailed me back yet. I spoke with Mountain States, they're out of Torrington. They were down at Heber, Utah for the, I don't remember what it's called, National Cross Country Ski
Your
Convention,
big party.
whatever. Yeah, yeah.
It's a big party.
It
You
actually-
can say it.
That is, yeah, it was a 3-day event. Where is it, right here? Anyway, yeah, I can't see what their name's called. Anyway, talking with Jeremy from Mountain States, He was, so they have the size, it's called the Snow Rabbit. It's what Teton Valley uses. It's under 8 feet, which I believe is what we're looking at. The, of course, I don't have that on me. The lease, so there was the buy and the lease. The buy was set up anywhere around 150, just under 150,000, and that was with the implements. The lease option was anywhere from 35 to 39,000, with 1,500, I believe, drop off and pick up. So 1,500 to drop it off, 1,500 to pick it up, so another 3,000. I believe it was 15, I don't think it was 17. To get all the good details, he said he was gonna have, he was on the road, he was gonna have his people email me, and as soon as I get that, which is fine anyway, because our meeting isn't till tomorrow, so we may have new information there, and that's where we stand right now. So basically, we're still looking, I'd recommend this go pass for second reading, go to third reading, while we get more information tomorrow, and when I get the quote back from Jeremy at Mountain States.
Was that 39,000 a year?
Yes, yeah, that was the lease for 4 months in the wintertime. Yep.
So that's definitely the big question we need to go for, but according to statutory requirements in your bylaws, we can't outright buy a piece of
No.
equipment for,
That was
just so everyone knows.
information
Right.
purposes, yeah.
Right, so we would almost be forced to lease it every single year.
Yep.
And I think, at least for the first year, that's a really smart way to go about it. And then we can kind of test the waters, get feedback from what people think. All indications are it's needed and it'd be hugely successful, but I think we want to test it out. And then depending on how that goes, then I think the town of Alpine could look at options as well. Just throwing it out there, maybe the town of Alpine buys this piece of property or piece of equipment, and then Travel and Tourism pays the lease payment on it or something. If there's any way that we can get that number down over a longer period of time, I think that'd be smart.
At the very least, labor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Does that include labor?
No,
So
We still gotta,
we still gotta, yep,
and then what about insurance?
nope, we still gotta do, it includes the piece of equipment, pickup and drop off. Yep. So, yeah,
there is, we're trying to work with the state trails in Forest Kaminga because there are, through the state, there's grant funds to pay for the operation and fuel and stuff like that. So there's a few stipulations we have to put in place for that to happen, but they're all doable. Like, we have to pass an ordinance that designates a snowmobile trail through town, and, that'll be really easy. So some of those things we can handle even after the fact, but I think it'd be smart to pass this on second reading, and we'll just gather a little bit more information before the third reading, and we'll make sure we're dialed in. I also want to understand exactly the finances, the in and out, what's projected. It seems like your revenue's gone up quite a bit, and we had one new hotel and half of a year of another hotel. So we're bringing in the RV park. We'll have another full year of the second hotel, and we'll have Flying Saddle in. So I think your revenue is gonna
On the up-
hopefully double, for the next year. So I think I would suggest we don't take the risk. We do a 1-year lease, even if it's a higher number, and we can test it out and get everyone's feedback. So
Awesome.
thank you. Any other thoughts there?
No, I agree with those thoughts.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I think it's smart.
All right, then can I get a vote for approval of Town of Alpine second reading trail groomer? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, off to third reading. I think that covers you guys, if you want to, you're more than welcome to stay.
you have me here now.
Sweet. All right, we're just going to bang these on down. Can I get a motion for Star Valley Art Council second reading Alpine Art Auction?
Motion to approve second reading Star Valley Art Council.
Second?
Second.
All right. as far as I know, there's no new information there. So do you guys have anything new?
No.
All right, we'll approve it, go on to second reading into third. All in favor of approval of Star Valley Arts Council second reading Alpine Art Auction, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Can I get a motion for approval Star Valley Arts Council second reading Alpine Art Festival?
Motion to approve second reading for the Alpine Art Festival from Star Valley Arts Council.
Second.
I have a first and a second. I have no new information they presented last time. Do you guys have anything?
No.
Haven't heard a word.
Hearing none, can I get approval for Star Valley Arts Education second reading Alpine Art Festival, say aye.
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 Aye. All right. And can I get a motion for Star Valley Arts Council second reading Montana Shakespeare in the Parks?
Motion to approve second reading for Star Valley Arts Council, Montana Shakespeare in the Parks.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Again, no new information there. Just a reminder to everybody, this application will actually happen the 26-27 fiscal year. However, the application needs to be in this fiscal year and funding this fiscal year. That's why the application's there. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. How about a vote for approval of Star Valley Arts Council second reading Montana Shakespeare in the Park, say aye.
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 Oh, no, look at the rain.
Oh, yeah. All right. Then we're down to Gray Bear Productions. So we'll have Dave step away and
Is
put
it
his
literally
presenter's
walk
hat.
away?
Can I have a motion for approval of Gray Bear Productions second reading Reggae in the Rockies?
Motion to approve second reading of Reggae in the Rockies, Great Bear Productions, second reading.
Second. So we have a first and a second. I understand. Hello, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
Dave Walters, Gray Bear Productions. We'd like to amend our request from the first reading to ask for an additional $10,000. We've made a few attempts and by multiple different ways to contact Lincoln County Tourism Board. They don't have a board built. Any way to do the additional 10 we were asking from Lincoln County that we talked about on the first reading. So we would like to come back to the Alpine Travel and Tourism Board and request an additional $10,000, which would make a total of $20,000 for this event. We've had great response to the event so far. We have about 300 tickets sold so far for the event. So moving along, and being that it's in September, I think that's pretty good progress so far. So, we are, there was also a large festival that occurs in Montana the weekend after that got canceled. So we're expecting to get a large draw from that. We are putting together a plan for possibly a second day of activities, for the event, for more music, which we're working out now.
Are you trying to get to a certain amount and then you'll kick it to a second day, or how are you deciding if you had a second day or not?
No, we're just trying to figure out the budgeting and the logistics for a second day and so on. But we do really feel strongly that, if we make it a second day event like we have in the past, we're going to get a lot more people from out of town and to come to this event, because it's kind of more of a weekend thing to come up and get more bang for your buck, So, right now, basically we're just requesting the $20,000 from the Alpine Travel and Tourism Board for the one-day event. I don't know what the thoughts are from the board. If we were to do a second day, if we can request an additional 5 to that, but that was kind of our thought process.
Well, for me personally, I'd love to see it a 2-day, because that, promotes the hotels and campgrounds. there.
Definitely, yep.
And I don't know if you've already reached out to area hotels, campgrounds, or whatever.
Yep, we've gone to.
Because that's what it's
Yeah.
all about.
Yeah, we've met with, I personally met with the Cobblestone, Flying Saddle, Alpine RV Resort. They've all offered us discount codes, which we're advertising on our website, social media, and all sorts of marketing that we're offering, so
What
giving
about
people
campers? 'Cause
discounts.
I know that our events in the past have, they want to camp. There's like a spot that you've got figured out for them to be able to do that?
So the camping right now, we're kind of trying to just make sure we get it in the door with the 4-H camp. and tread lightly on the first event, you know, making sure that they're comfortable with the type of, you know, event and what we're doing and stuff like that. And we know that, you know, we can prove we hold a nice, responsible, well-run event. But, so we haven't asked for any camping at that location during the event, but that's why we're kind of like reaching out to Alpine RV Resort. We're putting together a full map of local camping areas, not only like free camping that would be available in the BLM or the National Forest adjacent to the location, but, you know, paid campgrounds as well. So, including the Forest Service campgrounds that are available on the lake and so on, so.
Have you been in touch with anybody from the forest to see if Alpine Campground is even going to open this year, or will be open at that time?
I've been in touch with the Forest Service regarding this event and had it approved by them because the 4-H camp is on forest, part of it's, I believe, on Forest Service property. But we haven't discussed that in particular about that campground, so. But that's a great question. I'll be happy to do that.
Over by Melvin, are you able to get anybody over there on that?
Where it was kind of before?
Yeah.
You know, I think that it's basically, it's not an approval thing with them, you know, anybody can camp where they want
No,
to.
yeah, no, for sure. I just wondered if you
You
thought
know?
about like throwing them that way, and if you needed any kind of a permit from, not from Melvin by any means, but.
Yeah, the only time we would need it if we were to put like restrooms or you know, trash disposal or something like that on the forest, we would
Okay,
need
so
to
you
do
just be
that.
like, here's another option.
But yeah, that's why we're putting together like this whole like where to stay page on our website and doing it like a kind of a detailed map that's going to get drawn out here soon, where people can say, hey, you know what, because a lot of people like to camp when they go to these type of events, so we want them to know like, hey, here's the free camping, here's the map of how it's adjacent to, you know, how far it is away from the event and so on, you know.
Cool.
Put this out there, because I know that I can hear the voices in the back of my head. When you're putting that out there, I know it'd be much appreciated by the businesses here, because they're sponsoring this, especially if we go
Yeah.
20, that they will be highlighted a lot more than the free camping.
Right.
So, you know, just.
Right, absolutely.
I mean, this,
Yeah, it's really a great return for the businesses here. You know, I mean, the lodging especially, the restaurants, the gas stations, the retail. You know, I think it's a big kickback to them. And, you know, we've actually gotten great response back on our pursuing sponsorship dollars from the businesses, because they've seen our previous events. So people are a lot more proactive on supporting this one, you know, so it's been really good. So, but yeah, absolutely, that's a good idea.
I'd definitely like to hear if you're able to do 2 days versus the one.
Yeah,
That'd
same.
be-
Yeah.
I think that'll change.
Yeah, we're in the final stages of, you know, just budgeting that out. We've got some bands lined up we haven't signed contracts with, but, you know, that we've actually got some donors that are willing to pay for part of the music on that day, for those bands, and bring some other bands in for that. So, it's lining up really well. So I think that we're gonna go ahead and go with it here and make a decision in the next, week or two.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome.
I said awesome first. Double awesome.
Well, I would make a comment.
Yes,
don't mind.
please.
Absolutely.
To me, this is like the perfect event for these travel and tourism dollars, and I think adding a second day would benefit those businesses for sure, especially the hotels who derive most of this money. So I wouldn't encourage people to, I wouldn't point out that they should camp down at the BOR, because
I just know that they're going to find places to camp. I
Yeah,
don't want
well,
to have answers
I
for them,
personally,
so
as
we're
someone
making
that lives over
businesses
here and
mad.
enjoys the view outside of Melvin, I hate to see the campers out there, so I've always pushed back on Melvin,
Yeah.
you know, trying to bring people there and getting them to camp out there. So I would encourage, if there was free camping, I would send them out to the point, or, you know, someplace like that, rather than right out in front of Melvin. But that's just me. You guys do whatever you want to do. What's, you know, responsible as far as that's concerned.
I would
But
say that's more like where I'm worried, just to make sure that they have a home spot, is they're not out driving after being at those events. That's kind of my concern.
I think Dave has a plan for that too.
Okay.
I think what's going to be really emphasized is that, you know, there's camping directly across the street on Lake China Beach right there, you know, so, you know. Right, on the lake shore there and so on, so,
Cool.
you know, and then, you know, as far as this, you know, trying to put together like a shuttle system into town, that's still in progress, you know, so people can get to like places like Alpine RV Park or the hotels where, they can get, you know, that, it's a short distance, but it's a safe
Yeah.
way to go, you know, so, That's all in the works and in the plan, so,
Okay, great.
yep, so gonna make this a safe and successful event.
Love it.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, anything else? All right. Then can I, all those who in favor of Gray Bear Productions' second reading, Reggae in the Rockies, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Done, all right. Where are we
Does the,
at?
Amendment need to be approved or anything like that?
Oh, yes, thank you, Dave. Good call. Thank you very much. Can I get we'll backtrack,
So I need to make a motion to amend.
make a motion to retract approval of second reading, Gray Bear Productions, Reggae in the Rockies for an amendment.
What am I supposed to say after?
Say,
that?
so
So
moved.
moved.
Second, on that retraction. So can I get a motion to amend Gray Bear Productions, Reggae in the Rockies application to include up to $20,000?
So moved. I can say that
Second.
every time? Okay.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the amendment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Amendment passes. And then back to original amendment. All those in favor of second reading, Gray Bear Productions, Reggae in the Rockies, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, SVI. Get a motion for SVI Media second reading marketing proposal.
Can I get a motion for second reading marketing proposal for SVI Media?
Second?
I have a first and a second. Any further discussion? Not here. As far as I know, nothing's changed. Has Duke reached out to you? Yeah. Hearing nothing's changed. All those in favor, SVI Media second reading marketing proposal, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, and that just leaves me.
Motion to approve second reading for winter grooming for ATAP.
Second? Aye.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
I was kidding, I said a second.
See what happens when you're not up here?
See, done. All right, thanks, guys, for showing up.
All right, we retract that. Up for discussion, yep.
Thank you. Nothing's changed with our application. Just wanted to give you a quick update before our May update. So we finished our 24-25 season. Our grooming totals came to $9,764.70, 80% of which was paid by your board there, totaling $7,811.76. We had basically a total of 110 ski days, and kind of guesstimating to have anywhere from a couple of dozen to a few 5 dozen at most during the holidays, skier days, people on the course every day. So it was overall a very successful season. The snow stayed good, grooming stayed good, everything, and all the feedback that I had was good. Any questions for me?
How are you tracking how many people you have?
Just going at daily times that I go there and then
you're
getting feedback from
literally
others.
you
Yeah,
checking them
completely. I wish I had a counter, but yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I kind of want to, I'm thinking of maybe next year promoting a 100-day club. Now that I know that, we can get in over 100 days, maybe something like that.
That would be fun.
Because I know people that do it, go there every day,
Really?
or just about, yeah. So,
That's a good
so
idea.
yeah, it'd be kind of cool.
I like it.
Any other questions for me?
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
If we were able to get these funds from the state trails, what's the status with like state trails and ATAP? Have they ever worked together to try to get funding?
No, we haven't really worked together. We've kind of, not for really any reason. I mean, basically the state trails, at least for Alpine specifically, focus on the motorized snowmobile crowd and the grays. And as a ATAP, I've never pursued to take funds from that, to let those funds be for that.
I
And
don't know if they align exactly. So.
they could, I mean, for other areas in the state, I'm sure they do. For ours, though, like I say, I've just really kind of let that be separate. And you know, of like, I'm just a believer in pay to play. So if you're a cross-country skier, a Nordic, you know, non-motorized, then show me the money, and I don't want to take it away from a non-user group.
We could talk to them tomorrow about it.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to approve this application on second reading.
I second that.
Okay, motion approved to provide $8,000 in funding for ATAP for Alpine Trails and Pathway. Everybody say aye?
Aye.
Aye?
Aye.
All right.
Yay!
Hey,
Look at us all grown.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, and then that's what we're wrapping up. We need to go back to our first application, the fire department, for clarification. It wasn't 10,000, it was $17,440, or $466. If I can get a motion to retract the fire department application for $10,000, please,
Motion to retract fire department application for $10,000.
and a second?
Second.
All right, so we'll amend the motion. The motion was correct as far as the approval of funding. The funding amount was incorrect. It was not $10,000, it was $17,000, $466. Can I get a motion to approve it for the $17,000? Please.
Do you need to vote to retract and then bring a new motion?
Bring a new motion. Yep, that's,
The motion was to retract.
oh, yes, sorry. Motion to retract, all in favor, of motion to retract, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Aye. Thank you,
So
Mr. Mayor.
complicated.
And then, so bring it back to update the motion. Can I get a motion for approval Alpine Fire Department application in the amount of $17,466?
Motion to approve Alpine Fire Department application for $17,466. On second.
Let me have,
I would say, maybe
Oh,
I should
I might
say
have
a
gotta
motion
check
to approve fire department for the 17,466.
and I'll second that.
Okay.
Dave will abstain.
That's what I was
I'm
wondering.
gonna
if the
recuse myself
clean
there.
up too. For being picky.
Any discussion there? Thank you, Madam Secretary, for the clarification.
What's the change since the first reading?
Oh,
Nothing, we have the amount wrong.
Oh,
we just, yeah, there's,
I have these in order of the agenda, and he changed the agenda.
I screwed everything
So he
up
had
by
us
trying to
doing
mix,
this.
mix everybody
it was
up.
always 17.
It was always 17,000, yeah, so it passed first reading at 17, yep, yep. Yeah, we just said the incorrect amount. Any other thoughts?
Oh.
All right, all those in favor? Oh, sure. Dave, will you just press the button there?
Oh, yeah. Is the tourism board reaching the goal for a certain amount of funds needing for this type of request? What was the name of that request for?
Yeah, so impacts
Impacts.
of tourism. Yep.
Yeah. Is the board getting close to hitting that goal there?
I doubt that. The possibility, there's no real goal. It's up to 40%. of
Up
the
to,
budget.
okay. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be, there's no minimum then?
No minimum.
Okay,
No,
cool.
no.
That's all I need to know.
Any further discussion? Nope. All right, all those in favor of approving Alpine's Fire Department request of $17,466 for the fiscal year of 25-26, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. There we go. Again, thank you, Madam Secretary. That also reminds me of a point to make that all the applications are for the 25-26 fiscal year otherwise noted, such as Star Valley Arts Council. Once applications are approved, again, the feedback, if the event happened in the summertime, the feedback is to attend the October meeting. If the event happened in the wintertime, the feedback report should be due at the May meeting. We look forward to those reports from those applicants. Also, all applications otherwise noted are an 80-20 match. and receipts will have all that. Other than that, we will move on to, let's see, the bylaws. Okay, so we wanted to update, we had one more item to update on the bylaws. If you look at our bylaws, specifically Article 4, we're going to be adding to Article 4, putting Article 4, number 10, to state, the board reserves the option to receive applications outside the open enrollment period by a majority vote. So meaning that one thing that we've learned through this process is we do have a hard date of January 1 through March 15 for applications. However, things do come up. We can't predict everything, and we like to be open to our community and help our community out when it's needed. With that said, why have it finishing by a majority vote, meaning this board will first vote if we want to accept, not accept, approve the application, but accept the application. And that's just so people aren't coming all months of the year right now to say, well, what about mine? You did it for them, you did it for them. It's a special occasion, but this allows us that option to do it. And as we've seen, we're all learning, as we've seen with FBT, because we are on a fiscal year, and that's our busiest time is summertime, and that fiscal year almost cuts it in half. So we have to have a little leeway. That is my thoughts there. Any thoughts?
I agree.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Okay. Does that sound good to mayor and council that are in attendance?
Yeah, so can you read it one more time, just to make sure?
Sure, Mr. Mayor. Number 10, the board reserves the option to receive applications outside the open enrollment period by the majority vote.
Okay, so someone would come to you with the town of Alpine could come to you with a application outside the open enrollment. You will see if you'll even want to talk about it, and then you'll get it on the table, you'll look at it, and then does it still have to go through 3 readings?
You'll still have to go through the 3 readings.
And then, so do you decide if it's worthy of us meeting, or how does that work?
Yeah,
So I will always bring it to this board, and whether I'm here or not, the
So
chair,
this application comes in and,
the chair should
we-
always, yeah. So
Okay.
somebody would say, bring it to the secretary.
okay,
And so the secretary then should bring it to the board to say, hey, the town of Alpine or organization X, really, this opportunity came up for an application, they're outside the date, but we feel that this is a good opportunity that fits right with travel and tourism mission and purpose. Would you please bring it to a vote to receive this? And so then we would look at it, again, under public
you're gonna have to
meeting.
call a meeting.
Yep.
yeah, but it would
We'd
be
have
like
to-
a
we'd-
special meeting.
Yeah.
It would, exactly. It would
Okay.
be, we'd have to call, if it's outside our land, we'd have to call a special meeting, and then not only call a special meeting, but set up at a maximum of 3 readings. So it could be a simple one where we call it and go, well, yeah, this is a no-brainer, all their ducks are in a row, we're just gonna approve it on first reading.
Okay.
Or maybe there are some questions, and just like tonight, we approved several on second reading, it could happen there, but it will go to a maximum of 3 readings.
Okay, makes sense.
Does that,
That sounds right. And then, just to clarify, funds that pay the board come directly out of or is this only volunteer board?
this is only volunteer.
Okay.
Yep. And that also brings up different thought. But so with our approval, once we approve it, then it'd still come back to the town because it would be out of their budget. So that's the thing that we're dealing with is, because everything we approve goes to the council and they approve that fiscal year budget. So that would be, we would want to put something in the council's language
To allow it.
to allow it where we don't have to completely amend our budget. I mean, it's probably really the same, it's just a simple resolution to amend the budget because the Travel and Tourism Board decided to award X amount of dollars to Organization A.
Because the funds are there.
Yeah, the funds are there,
So-
and then it goes to the council because the council has the ultimate decision.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah, I think it's real important, just because,
Yeah.
as we saw with them.
Right.
If we can get their funding to them before the start of the next fiscal year. That's going to be beneficial. And things always come up at the town. We're like, oh, why didn't we think of that? We didn't get our application in. So, yeah,
Yep.
that sounds good to me.
Cool. Yeah, so it's hoops to jump through, but it's special. So
Okay,
in my opinion, that we need to have a couple of hoops to jump through.
okay.
Any other thoughts?
No.
All right, hearing none. Can I get a motion? Motion to, because we didn't put this on the table.
So to approve the amendment of the bylaws?
Motion to approve changes to the bylaws for,
Adding Article 4?
yeah, motion to, thank you. Motion to approve amending the bylaws, adding Article 4, Section 10. The board reserves the option to accept applications outside the open enrollment period by a majority vote.
Motion to approve amended bylaws, Article 4, to approve applications outside the, so moved.
That's, I learned that one.
And a second?
Wrote it down. So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Nope.
No.
All those in favor of motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Has everybody had a chance to look over previous meeting minutes from our March 2025?
Yes.
Yes.
Any discussion there?
Nope.
Can I get a motion to approve previous meeting minutes from March 2025?
Motion to approve previous minutes from March 2025.
In a second?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And last but not least, we've updated the logo.
Yep,
Have everybody had a chance to check it out?
looks good.
Any thoughts, concerns, questions? Do you know what we did?
The only thing that I'm wondering is if this should round more into that.
Sure.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it doesn't follow the circle?
Right, right.
And I know that's really nitpicky.
No,
But,
lightning picky.
that's the only thing that's bothering me.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah.
Did you? Okay,
There we
your
go.
eyeball too. I'm not weird. Okay. Like I said, I like that it could be stamped on anything.
Mhm.
The other ones were really, really great and colorful and pretty, but we can put this on anything.
Right.
For the crowd. So, yeah, I was just talking about that, following that line, the font, but.
Yeah, get the words to.
Yeah, it's just an eyeball thing. It's not.
That makes sense.
All right, so we have that on our notes. We'll come back.
Her name is Kristen.
I love that it's got all the stuff you can do here.
She's a local and she is a graphic designer and she does it for no charge.
Yeah. I guess one other thing that I would just comment, if you're open to it,
Mm-hmm.
but this almost seems like a banner going across the front here, and maybe to have a way to end the banner on either side.
Like it's, so it's a complete
So it's a
circle?
Yeah,
complete circle
so-
stamp?
Well,
Sure.
I like that it's, extends out past, like, I've done other logos like that, but just to have something, I don't know if it's blocky or it's wavy or whatever, but just to kind of finish that up. Because right
Okay.
now it looks like you took a donut and just went like that.
Yeah, how's it gonna end?
Um,
Okay.
But, yeah, if you do that and then come up with something there, I think you guys, it's, yeah, nailed it.
Cool. Got the notes there?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. So we'll have that.
Everyone's cool with this font?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, we'll have that for next one. Discussion items. Did I have any discussion items other than the county has not reached out? I haven't heard anything on their travel and tourism. Dave, you obviously haven't.
Not reaching me on any of that.
They're not calling you? Why not? Other than that, let's look at dates for our next meeting.
We're wanting to do May, right?
May. Want to keep it with
Is Memorial Day the 26th?
Yes.
So probably not the
Yeah,
22nd?
with maybe,
No,
like the 15th, or the 8th?
15?
I'm cool with 15.
15 would be great for me.
That would work well for me, too.
All right,
Let's do it.
let's do it, May 15. 6 o'clock, same bat time, same bat place.
Excellent.
Anything else from,
With the bylaws, do they have to go to town council for approval?
Yep.
So you're just gonna, you've made the change, you're gonna recommend, and then is it a simple resolution?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We could actually do it, we need to get it
We
on
could do
the
it.
agenda for the first meeting.
Yep.
Because if something comes up that we'd like to bring forward, it'd be nice if you guys had your meeting on the
Yep.
15th.
Hold on one sec.
What you thinking?
Just want to make sure that, so in Article 5, Article 5, Number 1, amendments. These bylaws may be amended by the town council and mayor upon a majority vote of the council. Bylaw changes must be presented at a regular meeting and may not be acted upon until at least 30 days have passed since the initial presentation.
What was the purpose of that, people?
That was also for no hasty decisions, no, like,
Time to,
give, exactly, more of just like time to just chew it over, and so there wasn't any like, hey, why don't you do this, you know,
pushing something.
exactly. Yeah, like,
But if you get an application, these applications, are we doing them all year?
That's what I was
Well,
wondering.
yeah,
Like, are we
yeah.
gonna advertise them that we just do this?
The town can
Because-
submit one in August?
the town could submit one in August, or anybody, yeah. So it's just a matter of like, I'm more not thinking of the question mark. It is more of what we already have going on.
But
we
you're
can- we
opening
can-
it to this being a year-round thing, is what you're opening it
Exactly,
up to.
exactly.
And the point is that if somebody puts an application in, October, and you guys think this can wait till
Exactly,
normal open enrollment, then you don't even.
exactly.
Don't even call me.
Yeah. the
Well,
only-
so who makes that decision? That's what I was saying. So
Well,
do you decide, like, if we're
Yeah,
gonna have a
yeah, so
meeting about
it'd
it?
be somebody submitting an application to the secretary, and then she'd be the first line of defense of like, oh, what do you have going on? I want to put together a concert next year. Oh, well, our application period then is January 1, or we just have
wanna
an
do a
opportunity to
Christmas
have a
thing.
conference here next month. It's going to attract 120 people, but we need to have X, Y, and Z for funding.
So you're in charge.
So
So
the-
this would,
The Shakespeare thing, if this was already in there, we could have done that.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep,
That's a great point about like some conference or somebody, snowmobile conference or
Yep.
whatever. The timing may never work out.
right.
I'm not opposed to the 30 days. It's just, in this scenario, if somebody brought something in for the final reading, it would have been convenient that your last meeting would be on the 15th.
Right,
Because even like when it slid and all the people from Victor had to go around,
right.
their council, their tourism in Jackson paid for some of that stuff to go down. Do you remember reading about
Oh,
that?
yeah.
So they had to have had
Yeah,
circumstances where
Yep.
they can hold special meetings and
Yep.
peel off money for crazy stuff.
and again, so we can, and in there, we can still do this. So this is just the bylaw changes. So it's not saying it's 30 days, the application has to wait 30 days. This is just only when we change bylaw, the changes to the bylaw. So if we change it, it just doesn't take effect for another 30 days.
Okay.
There's one other option.
And,
town council could,
and that's where I was,
temporarily amend that.
and that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Because again, remember, we make we do approvals, and our essential, our approvals are suggestions to the council. The council really has the final say.
Get it.
And so the council then therefore, can, if some special case comes up, say the dates don't match up with fiscal year, calendar year, they can amend how they feel they need
Okay,
fit.
that makes sense. Okay.
Cool? Any other thoughts? All right, then can I get a motion to adjourn at 7:21?
What?
Motion to
That's gonna
adjourn.
be the quickest one. Motion to second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Sweet, kept it under an hour and a half.
Woo! We smoked through that one.
Even got thrown some curveballs.